Okay, let's get into your reading, Leo. Okay, if you are watching this, let me tell you something. You just watching this means that you are destined to become a multi-millionaire, okay? A millionaire. I was going to say millionaire and multi-millionaire at the same time, right? Right now, there is this energy that you need to know about, okay? And it is gearing you towards this. I am not joking when I say that you will have so much money in your hands that you yourself will think to yourself, what do I do with it? Because you will have spent, invest, saved, splurged, and you will have so much money that you will think to yourself, what do I do with the rest? That is the kind of money that is going to come into your life. For many of you, you're going to be the first millionaire in your family. You know, your family is not going to have to ever worry about money because of you. And I want to sit with that for a second, okay? Because for a lot of you, that's the part that actually matters most. It was never really about the money for its own sake. It was about being the one who finally breaks the pattern. The one who makes it so the people after you never have to feel what you felt. And I want to sit with that a little longer, okay? Because being the first at something is a specific and lonely kind of hard. You don't have anyone above you who's done it. No one to ask. No map handed down. You're making the path that everyone after you gets to walk on easily. And that means a lot of what you've carried, okay, you carried without anybody understanding how heavy it was because you were the only one in your line who was carrying it at all. But that's exactly why this lands on you, okay, and not on someone who was handed everything. The first one has to be strong enough to hold what comes after. And the cards chose you because you already proved you could. And I also see here as well, there's just this very powerful energy that if you are watching this, if you are present, this is for you, okay? The rest of my cards are going to show this energy because I believe so heavily in my ability to read tarot that it is just going to give us a yes after yes after yes. You are going to be insanely wealthy, but also still such a good person that people respect you. People are not going to look at you with all this money that you're going to have and think, oh my God, I wish it didn't go to them. They're going to actually think that it's gone to the right person, and that's great. Because you will have peace of mind. People aren't going to run after you for your money. They're not going to come to you and demand things from you because of your money. They're going to let you live your life in peace. And this is very, very important. I just see here so much stability in being able to do whatever you want and having people around you that are just so kind and emotionally considerate and just really respectful. You are going to be so, so rich, so, so rich, so, so abundantly rich. And I want to name why that detail about respect matters so much, okay? Because you've probably seen the other version of wealth, the kind where people arrive the moment the money does, where every relationship suddenly has a question mark over it, where you can never quite tell who's there for you and who's there for what you have. That's not the version you're getting, okay? The cards are specific about that. You get the money and you keep the peace. And those two things almost never come together, which is exactly what makes this so rare. Okay, there are several astrological things happening right now. One of them, okay, and I have to pronounce this properly. One of them is called the Barbolt's basket. So basically this is a once-in-a-century planetary alignment that is literally taking place right now as I am speaking. And what that is doing is that as the months and the years go by, this has really shifted things into gear for you in terms of your career, in terms of money, in terms of any investments that you've made. And it is just 10xing everything, okay? I want you to comment down below, I am going to be rich times 10, okay? Because let me tell you something. You are going to be very wealthy, but you will just find that your investments or the money in your bank account just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing to the point where you're like, oh my God, this is happening so effortlessly, like water just flowing out of a tap. You're going to be shocked and genuinely so surprised. The kind of wealth that I'm seeing here is one that is just giving you stability beyond stability, like stability upon stability, with more and more stability. And I want to sit on that word effortlessly for a second, okay? Because I know for some of you, it lands as almost too good to believe. You've worked so hard for every single thing you have that the idea of money arriving easily feels almost suspicious. But here's what's actually happening, okay? The effort already went in. You already did the hard part years ago. In all the work nobody paid you fairly for yet. And what's coming now is not effortless because you're not working. It's effortless because the work is finally paying out all at once. And I want to describe what that shift actually feels like, okay? Because it's disorienting when it starts. You've been used to money being something you chase, something you push toward, something that takes effort to move even an inch. And then it flips, okay? Instead of pushing, you're catching. Instead of chasing, you're receiving. And the first few times it happens, you almost don't trust it because it comes without the struggle you'd learn to expect attached to it. That's the water from a tap feeling, okay? Not that you did nothing, but that the resistance is gone. And the thing that used to take everything out of you just flows now. The Emperor and the King. And look at that, right? The Emperor and the King. Right now we've got here another king. We had the High Priestess. Look at the amount of thrones we have. Thrones meaning power, meaning stability, meaning confidence. There's another card here as well. Just going to check that. Oh my God, the other card, we've got 5 thrones and 2 aces. Okay, you got 6 court cards. Court cards are pages, kings, queens, empress, emperor, high priestess, hierophant, that kind of energy. You got 6 of those, and you got then 2 aces. There are some serious synchronicities that are happening here that I think you really need to know about. And I want to explain why that many thrones in one spread is genuinely unusual, okay? Because a throne card is a card of someone who has arrived. A king isn't climbing anymore. A king has already built the thing and now sits at the top of it, steady, established, secure. And to see that many at once, okay, the emperor, the kings, the high priestess, all of these seated, crowned, settled figures, it's the deck describing a life that is not in the struggling phase anymore. It's in the ruling phase. And the emperor especially, okay, he sits on a stone throne carved with ram's heads, holding an ankh in one hand, mountains behind him. He is the card of built structure, of authority that lasts, of foundations that don't move, no matter what weather comes. And I think the main thing here is that you will not be left without stability. You will not be left in this lifetime without money. You will not be left in this lifetime without a huge amount of riches, okay? You are not. If you are watching this, it means that you are destined for richness, destined for greatness, and destined for extreme stability that never leaves you questioning yourself or what's happening or how it's happening. I'm telling you, you are going to be so wealthy that you will not have financial worries. None of this speaks financial worries. The Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. In fact, the Ace of Cups here is about being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. And the Ace of Pentacles shows just a constant stream of income coming into your life that gives you tears of joy and happiness and peace. Look at that peace. And I want to describe both of these, okay? Because 2 aces in one reading is 2 brand new beginnings arriving at the same time. And each ace is shown as a hand reaching out of a cloud, offering something, holding it out to you like a gift. The Ace of Cups is a chalice overflowing Okay, 5 streams of water pouring out of it endlessly, a dove descending toward it. That's emotional abundance, the overflow kind, the kind where there's more than enough and it keeps coming. And the Ace of Pentacles is a single golden coin held in that open hand, okay? A garden below it with a path leading out through an archway into mountains. And that path is the detail I want you to notice, because it means this isn't a one-time coin. It's the entrance to a whole road of them. You will see, by the way, white birds and white feathers. And it's a big sign that peace is coming with your money, okay? You will also see a lot of coins. Just random coins. Somebody talking about coins. You will see someone present a coin. You will watch something and there's coins. There's something here about coins, okay? Coins and white birds. It means that you're going to be set financially for life. You will not worry. Your debts will be paid off, okay? Bills will be covered. You're not worrying. You're not stressing about your finances. And you're just going to be able to live very peacefully, very comfortably, people respecting you for what you have, and just overall enjoying your life. Enjoyment to the absolute fullest, okay? And I want to say something about the debts being paid off specifically, okay? Because that line is going to hit a certain group of you very hard. Some of you have a number in your head right now, a weight you carry into every single month, a thing you think about when you wake up, and the last thing you think about before you sleep. And the cards are telling you that number has an expiry date, okay? It is not permanent. It is not the shape of the rest of your life. It's a chapter that closes. And on the other side of it is a version of you that has genuinely forgotten what that particular fear even felt like. And when I look at your finances, okay, I just see here you feeling so surprised. You'll be like, oh my God, I want to go here. Done. Like, let's go. Let's do this. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's get this done. Let's make this happen. The Fool. Even with the Fool as well. Just this sense of freedom. That's what you're going to have. So much freedom to do whatever it is that you want, whenever you want to do it, however you want to do it, and just not having to worry, like no worries. Hakuna Matata, you know, it's that kind of energy of just feeling uplifted and feeling just good, like really just very, very good and very, very happy. And the Fool shows a figure stepping off the edge of a cliff, okay? Face turned up to the sky, a small bag on a stick over one shoulder, a little white dog at their heels, the sun blazing behind them. And people misread this card as recklessness. And it isn't that at all. The Fool is the card of total freedom, okay? Of stepping forward without fear because you trust that you'll be caught. And the reason it fits here is that financial freedom is exactly what lets you become the Fool in the best sense. Someone who can say yes to things, go places, take chances simply because they want to, and nothing is stopping them. The 10 of Cups, and look at that with the 10 of Cups, this sense of excitement, this sense of joy, this sense of fulfillment, of just really living your life to its fullest in the way that you've always wanted to live. I see here land, I see property, I see a partner that's super supportive. I see here you being able to live in your dream home and have the life that you have dreamt of. You know, if you've wanted a certain kind of room in your home, but you've not had space for it, or if you wanted a certain type of, I don't know, kitchen or a certain type of garden and you've not been able to have that, it's going to be here. It's literally going to be yours. It's here on the table. And it's getting unleashed right now with this planetary phase, okay, of the Barbolt's basket. So it's really, really beautiful. And the 10 of Cups is the card of the rainbow, okay? A couple standing with their arms raised, 2 children playing beside them, a house on a hill, and an arc of 10 cups glowing across the sky. This is the single most complete image of happiness in the entire deck. And I want you to notice it isn't the money card, okay? It's the life card. It's what the money is actually for. The house, the people in it, the ordinary joy of a Tuesday evening in a home that's genuinely yours. Because wealth on its own is just numbers, okay? And this card is the deck reminding you that the numbers were never the point. The point was the life the numbers buy you, and that life is what's coming. And I want you to actually picture yours for a second, okay? The specific one, not a generic mansion from a magazine. The room you mentioned, the one you never had space for, the kitchen, the garden, the specific corner of a specific home that you've quietly wanted and quietly assumed you'd never get. That detail is the tell, okay? Because you don't picture things that precisely unless some part of you already knows they're meant to be yours. The wanting itself is a kind of memory running backward, a recognition of something already making its way toward you. And something you need to know about is that things just get better. And it's almost like you have this inner calling right now where you're feeling like, should I do this? Should I do this? You may have creative ideas. I would say explore your creative ideas if you've been thinking about moving jobs or moving your career or starting something new. Listen to the inner calling, the high priestess, because the inner calling here is very powerful with the high priestess. This is about your intuition. Listen to your intuition. Think about what your gut is trying to say to you, what the energies are trying to say to you, because they're basically saying to you that you are going to have stability, you're going to have security, you're going to be able to do the things that you want to do. Listen to that inner calling because it is taking you in that direction. And the high priestess sits between two pillars, okay? One black and one white, a crescent moon at her feet, a scroll half hidden in her lap, a veil behind her patterned with pomegranates, and she is the card of the knowing that arrives before the proof does. And that's what your intuition has been doing lately, okay? That pull you've been feeling towards something, that quiet sense that you're supposed to make a move, that isn't restlessness. It's the high priestess, and she knows things your logical mind hasn't been given the evidence for yet. So when you get that nudge toward an idea, okay, toward a change, toward starting the thing you keep almost starting, don't argue it down. That nudge is the smartest part of you, and it's pointing straight at the wealth the rest of this reading is describing. And I just feel here that you are on a path towards direct success, direct powerful success, and you are so deserving of it. I just see so much peace. I know I keep harping on and on about peace. Like you're going to have so much peace. And it's all going to come together so nicely. And I can't tell you how important it is that you have money with peace, because there are lots of people out there that have money, but they do not have peace. And they just can't sleep at night. They don't have joy. Their health is in a really bad place. The fact that you have peace with money is one of the greatest blessings that you can have financially, because imagine being able to enjoy your wealth. That is something that a lot of people, believe it or not, cannot do. And they just don't have the ability to be able to do so. So the fact that you have money with so much peace and joy, and being able to sleep at night, and being able to rest, and being able to genuinely feel good about yourself and your life is very, very powerful and extremely, extremely important. And I want to stay with this longer than she does, okay? Because it's genuinely the most valuable thing in this whole reading. There is a kind of rich that is just poverty with nicer walls, where the number in the account went up, but the fear never went down, where the person is surrounded by everything and can't feel a single bit of it. And you're not getting that version, okay? You're getting the version where the money actually reaches you, where it turns into sleep, into rest, into a quiet mind, into the ability to sit inside your own good life and actually feel that it's good. And that's the whole thing, okay? That's what all the thrones and all the aces were actually pointing at. The 8 of Pentacles. So I will say one thing. This is very powerful, very important. And the fact here is also that you're quite a hard-working person. And in the past, you put so much work towards people, places, situations. Your good karma is racking up so that you can have this abundance. You can have this richness. And you can have it flow into your life now rather than later. And so the 8 of Pentacles here shows keep working towards your goals, keep, striving for success, because you will reach a breakthrough. There's only a certain amount of time where, if someone's digging, and they know that there's something in that area, or, they feel like I'm going to get somewhere, it's only a matter of time before they do it. And I think that's really important. It's a bit like, okay, I don't know if anyone watched the World Cup, but basically if there's a team that is just constantly so around their goal, okay, and they keep shooting and they keep missing, but they keep going and they are just constantly in that area and they keep shooting, eventually they are going to score a goal, okay, because they're in that area and they keep trying, and it's just, it's eventually going to happen. So what I'm basically trying to say here is that it's eventually going to happen for you, okay? It's eventually going to happen for you. Just have peace in knowing that it's going to happen. Have peace in understanding that just because it hasn't happened right now doesn't mean it never will, And the 8 of Pentacles shows a craftsman at his bench, okay, head down, carving the same symbol into coin after coin, a whole row of finished ones hung up beside him. And it's the card of mastery through repetition, of getting so good at something by doing it over and over that the excellence becomes automatic. And I want to name what that card is honoring in you, okay? Because it's the exact thing that's gone unrewarded. You kept going. You kept showing up at the work, at the effort, at the trying. On all the days it produced nothing visible, and it looked from the outside like it wasn't adding up to anything, okay? But that's not how the 8 of Pentacles works. Every one of those coins was being made, even the ones nobody saw. And the pile is much bigger now than your discouragement has been letting you believe. And I just feel here as well that you've just been trying and trying and trying and going and going and going and doing and doing and doing. And your breakthrough is literally here. So please don't ever think to yourself oh, it's never going to happen, because your breakthrough is here. Don't doubt it, I would say, because everything that you've wanted is literally around the corner and it's going to happen for you. And I'm telling you, it's a very strong energy, okay? So strong that I think you'll be shocked when it happens. The Hermit, because the Hermit here shows that right now you feel nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. So obviously nothing's going to happen. That's not the attitude, okay? Because I'm telling you, yes, right now you feel like it's lonely and you're not where you want to be. And everything just feels like the same old thing going on. Let me tell you something. Just because this is how it has been for a very, very long time does not mean that this is where you are going to be forever, okay? Things change. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Keep walking through that tunnel. Keep going, because you are going to hit success. And the Hermit stands alone on a snowy peak, okay, holding his lantern out into the dark, a 6-pointed star of light glowing inside it. And the loneliness you feel right now, that's the Hermit's mountain, the quiet stretch where it seems like nothing is moving because you're above the tree line and there's nobody else up there with you. But the lantern, okay, the lantern is lit for a reason. You don't light a lantern unless you're still walking somewhere, and the light it casts only reaches the next step. never the whole path at once, so of course it feels like you can't see where this goes. You were never meant to see the whole thing, only the next step. And the next step is lit. Now is not the time to give up. And I think that's something you really, really need to know right now is not the time to give up. Okay? Now is like the last or the least thing you should be giving up on. Now is absolutely not the time to be giving up or thinking to yourself like, is this going to happen or is it not? Because you are so close. And when you are this close, I'm literally like, just hang on, hang in there, hang with it. Don't stress, don't panic, don't think it's not going to happen because you know what it is. There's literally success. There is literally success and richness and wealth and money and financial success and financial glory around the corner. Do not give up. Do not stress. Do not panic, okay? And I want to name why the Hermit showing up right at the end matters, okay? Because it's speaking directly to the version of you that has been quietly losing faith. Not dramatically, just slowly, just a little more each month, that things stayed the same. And I want to catch that before it goes any further, okay? Because the danger of a long, quiet stretch isn't the stretch itself. It's that you give up one step before the turn. The tunnel doesn't get bright gradually. You come around a bend and the light is just there, all at once. And the people who don't make it are almost always the ones who stopped just before the bend. Don't be that, okay? Not now, not this close. A second deck, the Fool again. I want to use another deck of cards just to really make sure that we're on the same page here in terms of the energies. Look at that. This is a sign to keep going, okay? You are going to not worry about finances in the future. Oh my God. You cannot make this up. Hold on a second. We had the Fool. Okay, I know we had the Fool. I'm just trying to find the Fool. 1 second. Basically, now is not the time to give up. I swear we had the Fool. So basically, what I'm trying to say here and what I think is very important is that you are being guided towards so much success and so much abundance. So you're being guided towards so much success. Like this is a new chapter that is going to occur for you in your life. Keep going. Oh my God, the synchronicities of having cards that just have already come out on the table is such a blessing. This is how I work as a reader. I say things and it comes out on the cards. And the fact that the other deck of cards is showing the exact same thing in itself is such a blessing. And I want to explain what a second deck agreeing actually means, okay? Because it isn't a small thing. Two separate decks, shuffled separately, pulling the same energy, the same Fool, the same freedom, the same fresh start. That's the universe saying the same sentence twice, and it only bothers to repeat itself when it really wants you to hear it. I don't know what more to say, except I think this is the perfect way to end this reading, which is, listen, this is going to happen for you. Another deck of cards is showing the exact same cards. Now that you know how I work as a reader, you know that this is not trickery. This is not trickery. When I say something, it happens. And before the final message, I want to leave a few things to actually hold on to. Okay, the wealth here is real loves, but the peace is the actual blessing. Money without peace is just a nicer looking version of stress, and that is not what you're being given. You're being given the kind that reaches all the way in, the kind you can sleep inside of. The second the effort already went in, all those years of trying with nothing to show for it, that wasn't failure. That was the Eight of Pentacles, making coin after coin, where you couldn't see the pile growing. The pile is real. And it's about to be counted. The third, do not give up one step before the bend. The Hermit's tunnel doesn't brighten slowly, it turns, and the light is suddenly just there. And the only people who miss it are the ones who stopped walking right before the turn. You are too close to stop now. And I want to answer one more thing, okay? Why this reached you now with this much specific detail? Because you were beginning to believe that the quiet was permanent, that the same old was just going to be your whole life, and that the breakthrough was something that happened to other people. And it isn't, okay, and you were meant to be told that right at the moment your faith was starting to thin. I don't pull the Emperor, Kings, the High Priestess, 2 Aces, the Fool, the 10 of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles, and the Hermit across 2 separate decks, all agreeing this specifically by accident. And I want to speak to the small doubting part of you for a second, okay? The one quietly thinking, but money always ends up being tight for me. That voice isn't wisdom. It's a habit built during a long stretch when it genuinely was tight, and it stayed long after the reason for it started ending. Set it down for tonight. This is already clear, okay? The Emperor and the Kings confirmed built lasting stability, the ruling phase, not the struggling one. The High Priestess confirmed an intuition worth following toward it. The 2 Aces confirmed new income and overflowing abundance arriving together. The Fool and the 10 of Cups confirmed freedom, the dream home, the whole life the money is actually for. The 8 of Pentacles confirmed the breakthrough your effort earned, and the Hermit confirmed you are close and must not stop now. So let me lay this all out one final time, okay? Slowly, so it actually settles. You are destined for serious wealth, okay? The kind where you run out of things to do with it before you run out of it. And it comes with peace, with respect, with people who let you enjoy it, with sleep at night, and a mind that finally rests. The effort already went in, the breakthrough is right at the bend, and 2 separate decks came out to say the same thing, so you would not be able to talk yourself out of believing it. Watch for white birds, white feathers, and coins showing up everywhere, and let them be your confirmation. One message. The pile was always growing. You just couldn't see it from where you were digging. If this resonated, loves, let me know what hit hardest and comment I am going to be rich times 10 down below to claim it. I genuinely read every comment, okay? Even the ones I can't always reply to individually. Your story becomes part of the reason this reading keeps finding the next person who needs it too, like this reading. And make sure that you're subscribed. And I'll see you in the next one. Wherever you're watching this from, okay, I want you to actually feel this settle in before you go. You have been digging in the same spot for a long time, okay, with no sign anything was down there. And you kept digging anyway, on faith, on nothing but the sense that it was worth it. And that took something, okay. Most people stop when the ground stays hard. Most people decide there was never anything there and go find easier ground. You didn't, okay? You stayed, and you kept your heart soft while you did it, which is why the money can reach you without turning you into someone who can't feel it. The ground is about to give, okay? And everything you were digging for is going to come up all at once. Take care of yourself. Bye, loves.